Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and never miss an update from Latestly.
You think you can bring about change? You can't do anything. You are powerless people. Don't even think big. We own the world. And our job is to tell them, sorry, we are coming together and we're going to create a country and an economy that works for all of us, not just you. So what this campaign is about, is demanding.
Bernie Sanders has suspended his bid to become the Democratic Party's presidential nominee for the upcoming 2020 US presidential elections. He said it was a very difficult and painful decision to do so. As he announced his decision to bow out, he conveyed the reality of his chances, saying, "If I believed we had a feasible path to the nomination, I would certainly continue."
We are now some 300 delegates behind Vice President Biden, and the path toward victory is virtually impossible. So while we are winning the ideological battle, and while we are winning the support of so many young people and working people throughout the country, I have concluded that this battle for the Democratic nomination will not be successful. And so today, I am announcing the suspension of my campaign. Please know that I do not make this decision lightly. In fact, it has been a very difficult and painful decision. Over the past few weeks, Jane and I, in consultation with top staff and many of our prominent supporters, have made an honest assessment of the prospects for victory. If I believed we had a feasible path to the nomination, I would certainly continue the campaign. But it's just not there.
This was Bernie Sanders' second run at trying to become the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party. He had earlier lost out to Hillary Clinton in 2016. Sanders' decision was a surprise for some, as he was the frontrunner at the start of the 2020 Democratic primary election season, with wins in New Hampshire and Nevada. But his announcement seems to be based on his recent losses to fellow party man Joe Biden in states like Texas, South Carolina, and Washington. Even though Sanders is bowing out, his campaign messages on a public healthcare system for all, addressing the homelessness challenge in the US, mitigating the climate threat, seem the most pressing issues today. Sanders has championed these ideas for decades, but they have never seemed more relevant than today, when the world is in lockdown due to a pandemic. Sanders has campaigned for the idea of family leave for workers. Having children, falling ill, or taking care of a family member shouldn't cost you your job, nor should quarantining due to a global pandemic.
If there's anything that I think the American people are learning during this horrific crisis, is how weak and how dysfunctional our current healthcare system is. Because what we are seeing is not just that millions of people are losing their jobs and their income, and that is a terrible tragedy. But when they lose their jobs, they're losing their healthcare as well, because under this system, employer-based healthcare, you lose your job, you lose your healthcare. Now that is pretty crazy. So I think what we are seeing is Americans from all across the political spectrum are now understanding that your healthcare cannot be tied to your employment. It has to be seen as a human right. And that, of course, is what Medicare-For-All is all about. You get healthcare because you're a human being and you live in America.
Sanders' decision to suspend his election campaign makes way for former Vice President Joe Biden to become the uncontested presidential nominee for the Democratic Party, and he will now go up against incumbent US President Donald Trump come November 2020.